Pistons last night in action, game 2 of their first-round series against the Orlando Magic. Came in, again, I think it's the playoffs. Every game is a must-win, but if you want to call any game a must-win, last night was it for the Pistons. You do not want to be going on the road for games 3 and 4 in an 0-2 hole. Very tough. But the Pistons do bounce back in a big way. Took a little bit of time. So in game 1, came off to a little bit of a sloppy start. Orlando, meanwhile, came out with some haymakers. And the Pistons, although they were able to tie several times, never able to take the lead in game 1. And the Magic able to get that road win. Meanwhile, last night, Pistons able to get into the driver's seat early, able to really control the action, but never really built that big of a lead. Orlando was able to hang around, although I think the Pistons did come out a lot better in this one than they did in game 1. But a loss at halftime, they were tied. Tied at 46 apiece. Very low-scoring game, very defensive game, which we pretty much expected that would probably be the case through this series. Going to be a very defensive and physical series. But then, bam, third quarter. So, to preface this, at halftime, J.B. Bickerstaff, who was easily my pick for Coach of the Year, He laid into this team at halftime. Just was not holding anything back. This team's got to get its bleep together, basically. Enough of this, whole my bad, no more of this. This is the playoffs. You know what you need to do. You know what needs to happen. And the Pistons players responded brilliantly. Extended 30-3 run. They start rolling, but most importantly, their defense goes complete lockdown. And just like that, able to build up a lead of as many as 27 points, able to pretty much maintain. Once it got over 20 points, they were able to hold it around there for the rest of the game. But that huge run in the third quarter was all the difference for this Pistons team. And it, again, starts on the defensive side of the ball. You're not going to lose many playoff games, or any games in general for that matter, if you're holding your opponent to just 32% shooting from the floor, 25% from 3. Unbelievable stuff for this Pistons team. And how about this? I wouldn't be surprised if this were the only game all playoffs for any matchup, any team that is below 100 points for either team. 98-83. Very low-scoring game. And how about this? Besides the 38-point third quarter for the Pistons, they outscored the Magic 38-16, by the way. Neither team got more than 25 points in a single quarter last night. It was just that one third quarter for the Pistons. So across both teams, essentially, 8 total quarters, 1 quarter of more than 25 points. Very defensive series. Very throwback game, if you will. I mean, minus the amount of threes shot. But I digress. So, I mean, hey, what was I talking about? Pistons intangibles, they get back to business. They had a plus 15 rebound edge, plus 20 points in the paint edge. And here's a stat that really stands out to me. They did only get 4 offensive rebounds, but 4 more offensive rebounds, I should say, 17-13 against the Magic, but 13-5 edge on second chance points. That was a killer, especially in the first half even. Meanwhile, able to just completely shut down the Orlando Magic last night. You talk about some of these guys that had big game ones for the Magic. Completely different tune here. Banchero, of course, shot very well, played very well. Wendell Carter, Jalen Suggs. Meanwhile, look here in game 2 for the Magic. Wendell Carter ends up fouling out. Only 3 points on 1 of 6 shooting. Complete opposite game. Jalen Suggs finished with more points, shot a little bit better. he's probably the only one who really made an improvement in this game. But Paolo Banchero, 7 of 17 shooting, he took a step back. Bench really didn't do anything for the Magic either. Meanwhile, the Pistons mentioned they play a little bit of a deeper rotation than some other teams, especially in the playoffs. But how about this line? Cade Cunningham, 27 points, 11 assists, 6 rebounds, 11 of 19 shooting, 1 steal, 1 block. Great stuff. Jalen Duren, 11 points, 9 rebounds. Tobias Harris making some big shots, especially early on, 16 points and 11 rebounds. But unbelievable overall game for the Pistons, especially A++ on the defensive side of the ball. Your opponent only gets 83 points in today's NBA. That's unbelievable work right there. And I think the Pistons getting some alumni in the building definitely helped give them a little bit of a boost. We saw, of course, Isaiah Thomas was in the building, Ben Wallace, and even Richard Rip Hamilton, who had a brief interview in the second half on the ESPN broadcast, which was really cool to see and hear from Richard Rip Hamilton. So that a great game. Couldn't have asked for better from the Pistons, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I told you I thought this Pistons team was going to be fine. They got punched in the mouth in game 1, but hey, Pistons, now they see, all right, this is what we need to do. This is what we need to do to get the job done. And we knew this was going to be a low-scoring, very physical series, but you got to be the more physical team, and the Pistons definitely were. Last night made every basket brutal and difficult for the Orlando Magic. And it's a winning recipe. And this is another side fact here. Pretty sad when you think about it. Not for the Pistons, but I have to bring them up. The Red Wings. Very sad for the Red Wings. Why? Because Little Caesars Arena has been open for what now? 9 years? Almost 9 full years? And last night, that was the first ever home playoff win in that building, Little Caesars Arena. And keep in mind, this was an arena built exclusively, originally, for the Red Wings. It was built for the Red Wings. It wasn't until the 11th hour in construction. That's when the Pistons decided to, join in and call Little Caesars Arena their home. So to have the Pistons, not the Red Wings, in a building that was originally designed for them, the Pistons are actually the ones with the first home playoff win. And by the way, ending the longest home playoff drought in NBA history, 11-game drought. The last time the Pistons won a home playoff game was in 2008 against the Boston Celtics. So it's been a long time coming. But getting that first win, Pistons know what they need to do to get the job done. And I think they're going to continue to take off in the series. I can see it maybe going 6 games, but I think the Pistons they're going to be fine. I think they're going to roll. I think it's going to be a 5 or 6 game series at most. I don't see this going 7, but the Pistons are going to move on against this Orlando Magic team, and especially if they play like that, it's hard to see anybody stopping them when you're playing complete shutdown defense in the manner that they did last night. So the Pistons 98-83 over the Orlando Magic. Their next game, funny enough, is on Saturday. So spaced out. Just a little side tangent here. It drives me nuts how spaced out the NBA playoffs is. For context, my Denver Nuggets, they play in Game 3 of their series tonight, and then they play in their Game 4 also on Saturday at the same time that the Pistons are playing their Game 3. That doesn't make any sense at all. But I digress.
If you missed today's installment of On the Docket, podcast it at foxsports1019.com or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to tune in live weekdays at noon on Jackson's Fox Sports 101.9 FM.